welcome to Love is Blind.
There's something about your voice.
That's what everyone keeps telling me. I'm here to find my wife, and you're talking to other people too, are you not?
I think I'm at a breaking point. Sorry.
What?
Just 2 weeks ago, I was, working and just living a normal life. And now you've got people who are writing about me and kind of making judgments about me and my love story. And it's a lot. It's definitely a lot to experience and work through. But at the same time, I'm so grateful for it. I've never felt so loved.
I think the beauty of Love is Blind is that it puts all of us kind of in the shoes of those that are dating, and it even makes us reflect on what our non-negotiables are, what our deal breakers are, little things like that. Did you have any deal breakers while you were getting to know the guys?
I definitely went in with some deal breakers. Thankfully, I didn't find any deal breakers with the other men. A lot of it was like racism, that's a big one for me. I think criminal history, I asked a lot of questions on that. One of the things that is a big deal breaker for me is like men who boast or show off. But, I think Shayne tends to be like that sometimes. So I realized like maybe that really isn't a deal breaker for me.
I was just thinking that. I was like, well.
Yeah. But he had so many great, qualities about him beyond that, I was able to kind of like overlook that.
And I want to talk about you're finally posting photos with Shayne. Let's talk about that, because I did see the finale, and I saw, that you guys didn't end up going forward or moving forward with the wedding right then and there, but I want to hear, what happened afterward.
We continued dating or continued our engagement after the wedding, and we stayed together for several months. We just wanted to give it another shot without the cameras and the pressure of making a decision to be married or not. It didn't work out, so we did end that relationship, and we went through a period where we didn't talk, but I think with the show coming out and seeing those memories again, we definitely have a bond through this experience we went through. And I still have a lot of love for him, but how I would describe our relationship right now is as friends.
Another thing that we kind of saw on camera was the situation that maybe you even weren't that aware of. Shaina kind of really also liked Shayne. And there were awkward moments, for example, when they were at the beach and stuff. What was going through your head at that moment when, they were over there talking and there were cameras? And I know he came clean to you after and he kind of explained what the conversation was about, but what were you thinking?
During that, what we call like the beach scene, I just wasn't sure what the conversation was about. I actually wasn't aware of their connection in the pods, quite honestly. So I didn't really think a lot of it, but by their facial expressions and things like that, I knew that it was getting into a serious conversation. So I was like, I'm not really sure what's going on. Shayne did tell me what she had said. I did reach out to her the day after the bonfire to get her side of the story and ask her, if she did say these things, and she denied saying most of the things that she actually did say. And so, at that time, I really just wasn't sure what was going on. It's really until the show came out where I was like, okay, I think I, kind of understand what was happening.
There's only so much that the viewer can see on TV. Is there anything the cameras missed that you say, oh, I wish they would have seen it?
I wish there was more scenes of the friendships that were built in the lounge, but also between Deepti, Ayana, Mallory, Danielle, and I. We are very close. We talk very often and hang out very often as well, because we do have this shared experience. But we definitely had a lot of fun times together during filming. We met up quite often to, to talk about like what we were going through, how we were feeling, and I do wish that was shown a bit more.
That's very sweet. And take me through the process of you getting cast.
I actually didn't see Love is Blind season 1 before I applied. I actually had so many of my girlfriends reach out and they're like, you have to do this show. It's so different from other shows. It's not like The Bachelor, or it's not like those crazy dating shows. Like, this might be really good for you. And so that's what really propelled me to apply. And I just went through the regular casting process and, was able to get into the pods and start dating.
Was there a strategy for you going into the pods? Because really, nobody really sees you for a while.
Yeah, I didn't have a strategy. I think I just went in, with an open mind, and I truly went in more for the experience. I don't think I was like, I need to get engaged. If I find someone, I find someone. If I don't, I don't. And I did find someone.
Do you think that within the world that we're in right now, where, you know, everyone finds, even me, my boyfriend, you know, we met on Tinder, and people meet on these social media apps and stuff, and it all is just very physical. At first, at least, like the first thing you see is the person's face. How did it feel for it to be the other way around? You know everything about them first, except their face.
You know, a lot of the men did not know I was East Asian in the early stages of dating in the pods. And so it was just really great to just like be myself and have my personality shine and not be judged by, you know, how I dressed or my ethnicity and race and things like that. So I loved the process. I think it didn't bother me that I couldn't see the men who I was dating. I actually really loved that, being able to not make those quick, you know, judgments. And I've never gotten so many messages of people who are like, I could relate to you, or thank you for representing, you know, Asian Americans on the show. And so it's definitely been a very interesting experience, and there's been a lot of good things with it, but you know, a lot of not so good things with it as well.
Social media popularity changes a lot of things, and I'm interested. What do you have plans? Like, what's next?
Quite honestly, I'm not sure. I'm taking it day by day. You know, all of this has been so amazing, but also so overwhelming. You know, I'm still working during this time as a consultant. And so, you know, my job is still one of my priorities, but, you know, I'm taking whatever comes, but it's been really fun. You know, you'll just have to see where life takes me.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our Narcity channel to see more content just like this.